Imagine stepping into an elevator, pressing the button, and rising to your floor without a second thought. It feels ordinary, almost invisible, but have you ever considered who made this everyday experience safe? In 1878, a brilliant African-American inventor named Alexander Miles observed a danger that most people never noticed. While riding an elevator with his young daughter, he saw just how risky it could be when elevator doors were left open. A moment of curiosity and concern sparked an idea that would transform public safety forever. Miles' invention, a system for automatic elevator doors, was more than just clever engineering. It was a solution that protected countless passengers from serious injury or worse. He designed a mechanism that used a flexible belt and a series of drums along the elevator shaft to ensure that doors opened and closed at the right time. This simple yet elegant concept became the foundation for modern elevators, saving lives every single day. But the story of Alexander Miles is not just about machinery, it is a story of observation, empathy, and innovation. He did not invent the elevator, and he was not the first to imagine automated doors. Yet his design addressed a critical safety problem that had been overlooked. By paying attention to the everyday dangers around him and acting on his insight, Miles turned a moment of concern into a lasting legacy. Think about it. Every time you step into an elevator and the doors close automatically, you are benefiting from the vision of a man who lived nearly 150 years ago. His invention reminds us that innovation often comes from seeing the world differently, from noticing what others take for granted, and from daring to solve a problem that affects everyday life. Today, we celebrate inventors like Alexander Miles not just for their creations, but for the spirit they embody: curiosity, courage, and the drive to improve the world around them. And yet, stories like his are rarely told in schools, rarely highlighted in textbooks. That is why it is so important to shine a light on these pioneers and give them the recognition they deserve. If you find stories like this inspiring, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. We share fascinating tales of hidden innovators, groundbreaking inventions, and the incredible minds who shaped our world, stories you won't learn in a traditional classroom. Don't miss out. Click that subscribe button and join us as we uncover the incredible achievements of inventors who changed the way we live. Because the truth is, history is not just what is written in books, it is what we uncover, what we celebrate, and what we pass on. And Alexander Miles' story is just the beginning. Stay tuned, because the journey through hidden innovations and the brilliant minds behind them has only just begun. Just a few decades after Alexander Miles transformed the way people safely navigated vertical spaces, another remarkable African-American innovator was reaching for the skies. Quite literally, in a way that would redefine the possibilities of human flight. Paul E. Williams, a man whose curiosity and determination knew no bounds, grew up with a fierce dedication to learning instilled in him by his foster mother, who emphasized the power of education above all else. From a young age, Williams was captivated by structures and design, spending hours observing buildings, studying the mechanics of how they were constructed, and imagining how they could function more efficiently, more elegantly, and more safely. This early fascination with architecture would later propel him to become the first black member of the American Institute of Architects, a milestone that reflected not only his exceptional skill, but also his resilience in breaking barriers in a world that offered him far fewer opportunities than it did his peers. But architecture was only one part of Williams' story. His curiosity extended to the skies, where he saw potential not just in how structures could rise, but in how humans could move freely through the air. In the early 1960s, aviation was still a field dominated by heavy engineering, with helicopters largely experimental and limited in practical application. Williams, however, saw the possibility of making helicopter flight not just feasible, but useful, efficient, and accessible. Drawing on his meticulous training in architecture and engineering, he approached the challenge with a mindset that combined technical precision with visionary thinking, understanding that every innovation required both careful calculation and a willingness to imagine what others could not yet see. In 1962, Williams' dedication culminated in the creation of the X-51, the first practical helicopter that could navigate the skies with stability and safety, while being easier to pilot than many fixed-wing aircraft of the time. Unlike airplanes that demanded extensive training and careful attention to takeoff, landing, and flight paths, the X-51 introduced design innovations that allowed pilots to maneuver with greater confidence and reduced risk, opening up the possibility of helicopter travel for purposes that had previously been constrained to highly specialized use. This was not merely a mechanical achievement. It was a leap toward democratizing flight, giving people the ability to move efficiently over terrain that would have taken hours to traverse by car or train. In many, Williams' invention mirrored the essence of Alexander Miles' elevator doors. It transformed a moment of potential danger or limitation into an opportunity for safety, efficiency, and human empowerment. Williams' life was as inspiring as his inventions. Despite the systemic challenges he faced as an African-American man in mid-20th century America, he refused to let societal barriers define the limits of his potential. His journey through education, mentorship, and relentless experimentation exemplifies how vision, determination, and hard work can overcome obstacles that might otherwise seem insurmountable. He combined his architectural training with his passion for aeronautics, showing that innovation often arises at the intersection of disciplines, where one skill set informs and enhances another, producing breakthroughs that could not have been achieved by looking at a single field in isolation. The X-51's significance extended beyond its immediate technical achievements. It inspired a generation of engineers and pilots to rethink what was possible in vertical flight, influencing design principles for helicopters and even tiltrotor aircraft for decades to come. Williams' commitment to excellence and innovation resonated with those who understood that the sky was not a limit, but a canvas for invention. Just as Alexander Miles observed a dangerous elevator shaft and transformed it into a safer experience for everyday people, Williams observed the potential for flight to be more accessible, safer, and more practical, and he turned that vision into reality. Both inventors shared a common thread, an ability to see what others overlooked, combined with the courage to act on those insights, ultimately creating inventions that have become woven into the fabric of modern life, even if the names behind them are rarely mentioned in school textbooks. Even today, the legacy of Paul Williams' X-51 resonates in the helicopters that lift people over cities, mountains, and battlefields, in the medical evacuation helicopters that save lives every day, and in the countless applications of vertical flight that rely on principles he helped pioneer. His story reminds us that innovation is not just about invention, it is about vision, courage, and the relentless pursuit of improvement. It teaches that breakthroughs are often born from curiosity, observation, and the refusal to accept limitations imposed by circumstance or society. By connecting the threads of human ingenuity, from Alexander Miles' elevators that protect us as we ascend to Williams' helicopters that allow us to soar above the earth, we begin to see a larger pattern. The extraordinary contributions of African-American inventors have quietly, profoundly shaped the way we live, work, and move, bridging gaps between safety, accessibility, and the imagination of what is possible. As we explore these stories, it becomes clear that recognizing these achievements is about more than honoring individual inventors. It is about reclaiming history and inspiring future generations to see that ingenuity knows no boundaries. The X-51 was more than a helicopter, it was a statement that creativity, resilience, and determination can lift us to new heights. Both literally and figuratively, it challenges us to look at the world around us, to question what can be improved, and to act on our ideas with courage and precision. By celebrating Paul Williams alongside innovators like Alexander Miles, we are not only uncovering hidden histories, we are also lighting a path for the inventors of tomorrow. So if you are inspired by these stories of groundbreaking vision and relentless determination, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Every week, we dive into the lives of remarkable inventors whose contributions have changed the world, bringing their stories out of the shadows and into the spotlight where they belong. History is full of lessons, and through these pioneers, we learn that innovation, creativity, and perseverance are forces that can reshape our world in ways we are only beginning to imagine. While the stories of Alexander Miles and Paul Williams illustrate innovation in motion and the skies, there are inventors whose genius quietly reshaped the very spaces where we live, work, and nurture our daily lives, transforming ordinary routines into experiences of safety, convenience, and efficiency. One such visionary was John Stannard, a name that may not be familiar to most, yet his contributions had a profound impact on how people preserved food and accessed clean water in their homes. At a time when refrigeration technology was still in its infancy and households often struggled with keeping food fresh, Stannard approached the problem not merely as an engineer but as someone who understood the rhythms and needs of everyday life. He realized that existing refrigerators were cumbersome, inefficient, and difficult to maintain, and he saw an opportunity to improve not only their functionality, but also the way families interacted with their domestic environment. Stannard's ingenuity led him to develop a refrigerator design that incorporated separate ice compartments and a front-mounted faucet. Innovations that addressed multiple challenges at once. The separate ice compartment allowed households to store ice conveniently without interfering with the main refrigeration area, preserving food more effectively and providing a simple solution to a problem that had long frustrated homemakers. Meanwhile, the front-mounted faucet introduced a level of accessibility and hygiene that was unprecedented, giving users the ability to access cold water directly from their refrigerator without needing to open doors repeatedly or rely on external water sources. In doing, Stannard transformed a utilitarian appliance into a practical, user-friendly system that improved the quality of life in subtle yet meaningful ways. Much like Alexander Miles had transformed elevator travel into a safer, more reliable experience, Williams had made flight more practical and approachable. What makes Stannard's story particularly compelling is the way he bridged technical precision with empathy for the user. He understood that an invention is not truly successful unless it integrates seamlessly into people's daily routines, enhancing convenience while minimizing effort. His refrigerator design exemplified this principle, combining mechanical innovation with thoughtful consideration of human behavior. Households that adopted his refrigerator found themselves experiencing an entirely new level of ease in managing food storage and water access, highlighting how invention often lies not just in grand technological leaps, but in the clever, elegant solutions to everyday challenges. By improving these small, familiar tasks, Stannard's work reminded the world that innovation is as much about improving life quietly behind the scenes as it is about dramatic, headline-grabbing breakthroughs. The ripple effects of Stannard's invention extended beyond mere household convenience. His improvements made refrigeration more reliable, reducing food spoilage and contributing to public health, a concern that would become increasingly significant as urban populations grew and food distribution systems became more complex. By addressing practical needs with foresight and creativity, He demonstrated how domestic technologies could evolve into critical infrastructure supporting broader societal well-being. The ability to store ice separately and dispense water easily may seem modest compared to a helicopter or an elevator safety system. Yet in its own way, it had a lasting impact on daily life, shaping how generations of families experience the simple act of preparing meals, hosting gatherings, or maintaining healthy hydration. Stannard's story, like those of Miles and Williams, is a testament to the power of observation and the courage to act on insight. He noticed the friction points in people's daily routines, envisioned a better way, and implemented it with precision and care, ensuring that his solution was both practical and durable. His invention invites us to appreciate that progress does not always announce itself with fanfare or drama. Sometimes it enters our lives quietly, subtly reshaping our environment and raising the standard for convenience, safety, and efficiency. Just as Miles' automatic elevator doors made a dangerous daily activity safe and Williams' helicopter brought the skies within reach, Stannard's refrigerator transformed an essential domestic task into a seamless and reliable process, improving life in ways that were immediately tangible yet often overlooked in history. By connecting these inventors' achievements, a pattern emerges. Innovation thrives where curiosity meets empathy, where technical skill meets a genuine understanding of human needs. Stannard, like Miles and Williams, combined knowledge, creativity, and attention to detail to address problems that others had either ignored or accepted as inevitable. His work exemplifies the quiet power of thoughtful design, showing that even in the seemingly ordinary tasks of daily life, there is room for creativity and improvement, and that such contributions can leave a lasting legacy that benefits countless people long after the inventor is gone. Recognizing John Stannard alongside innovators like Alexander Miles and Paul E. Williams challenges us to expand our understanding of history, to acknowledge that impactful inventions are not always monumental or flashy, but often practical, clever, and transformative in subtle ways. Each of these inventors observed the world carefully, identified points of friction or danger, and applied their ingenuity to create solutions that endure. In celebrating Stannard's contribution, we honor the spirit of innovation that permeates all aspects of human life, whether in vertical transportation, the skies above, or the very heart of our homes. If you find stories like this inspiring, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel. We bring you the untold stories of inventors who changed the world in ways both visible and subtle, whose creativity and determination continue to influence our daily lives, and whose legacies deserve to be recognized, celebrated, and shared with everyone eager to learn the true history of human innovation. By following along, you join a journey that uncovers brilliance often hidden from textbooks, but crucial to understanding how the world became what it is today. As we move from the household kitchens transformed by John Stannard to the skies opened up by Paul E. Williams, and the safety and vertical travel ensured by Alexander Miles, it becomes clear that the story of African American inventors is not confined to a single sphere of innovation. It spans every facet of daily life, from domestic convenience to technological advancement that underpins the modern office and commerce. Among those whose ingenuity quietly reshaped the rhythm of work and the handling of information were Lee Burridge and Newman Martian, two inventors whose contributions to early adding machines and typewriter technologies demonstrated a profound understanding of both mechanics and human interaction. In an era when the complexity of business and administration was expanding rapidly, they recognized the need for tools that could streamline calculations and written communication, making tasks faster, more accurate, and ultimately more accessible to the people who used them. Burridge and Martian did not set out merely to improve existing devices. They sought to reimagine the possibilities of mechanical computation and documentation. Their early adding machines were designed to handle numerical operations with a level of efficiency that had previously been unimaginable in everyday business. By mechanizing arithmetic, they reduced the potential for human error and sped up calculations that were once labor-intensive, transforming offices and accounting departments into spaces where work could be performed with both precision and reliability. The innovations introduced by Burrage and Martian reflected a keen awareness that technology should serve human needs, facilitating tasks rather than complicating them, and that thoughtful design could change the way people approached work entirely. Simultaneously, their work on typewriter innovations highlighted the importance of usability, ergonomics, and adaptability. Typewriters were becoming essential tools for communication, yet early models were often cumbersome, slow, and prone to mechanical failure. Burrage and Martian recognized that improving the mechanics of these devices could not only enhance productivity, but also expand access to literacy and written expression. Their adaptations allowed for smoother typing, more reliable operation, and greater versatility in printing letters and figures onto paper, laying the groundwork for the sophisticated word processing tools that would eventually become standard in offices around the world. In this way, their inventions intersected seamlessly with other areas of innovation we have explored, from Miles' elevator doors ensuring safety to Williams' helicopter enabling flight, showing that progress often comes in parallel streams, each addressing a unique aspect of human need while collectively shaping the future. What makes the contributions of Burrage and Martian particularly compelling is the way their inventions intersected with both the technological and social landscapes of their time. Offices, businesses, and educational institutions were beginning to rely more heavily on mechanical tools, and the efficiency and reliability of these tools had a direct impact on economic productivity, communication, and professional development. By improving machines that could handle numbers and written language, they were not merely creating devices. They were shaping how people interacted with information, how organizations operated, and how ideas could be transmitted accurately and efficiently. Their work reflects a broader pattern observed in the lives of inventors like John Stannard, who improved everyday domestic life, or Alexander Miles, who enhanced public safety. Innovation is most profound when it changes the way people live and work, often in ways that become so integrated into daily life that the origins are forgotten. Burrage and Martian's story also underscores the importance of vision and persistence in the face of societal obstacles. As African American inventors working in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, they faced barriers that made recognition and resources far less accessible than they were to many of their peers. Yet, like the inventors before them, they leveraged their skill, ingenuity, and determination to create tools that were not only mechanically sound but socially transformative. Their adding machines and typewriter improvements helped democratize access to efficiency, literacy, and reliable calculation, demonstrating that innovation is not solely about high-profile breakthroughs, but also about empowering people to perform their work with accuracy and confidence. In many, Burrage and Martian's contributions bridge the domestic and professional spheres, connecting seamlessly with the narrative of innovation established by inventors like Stannard, who made refrigerators more practical for everyday life, or Brooks, whose street sweepers made public spaces cleaner and safer. Their work reminds us that progress is multidimensional, encompassing improvements to both the environments we inhabit and the tools we rely on to navigate those environments, whether through physical safety, convenience, or intellectual efficiency. By mechanizing arithmetic and refining the typewriter, they created a foundation upon which modern offices, accounting systems, and written communication would be built, showing that the ripple effects of thoughtful innovation extend far beyond the moment of invention. The legacy of Lee Burridge and Newman Martian is not only measured in the machines they produced, but in the transformation of daily life that resulted from their innovations. Offices became more organized, calculations more reliable, and communication more efficient, illustrating how technological progress can empower people and enhance societal functionality. Their story invites reflection on the often overlooked inventors whose work quietly shapes the frameworks within which we live, learn, and work, echoing the broader themes present in the lives of Alexander Miles, Paul E. Williams, and John Stannard. That creativity, observation, and determination can lead to profound change, even in areas that may seem mundane at first glance. If you are inspired by the ingenuity and perseverance of inventors like Burridge and Martian, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel. We bring you the untold stories of hidden innovators whose contributions continue to influence our everyday lives, shaping the tools, systems, and experiences we often take for granted, and whose legacies deserve recognition and celebration. By following along, you become part of a journey that uncovers the brilliance of minds too long overlooked, revealing the transformative power of human creativity across every facet of life. As the stories of inventors like Alexander Miles, Paul E. Williams, John Stannard, and the inventive duo Lee Burridge and Newman Martian reveal, the history of African-American innovation spans a vast spectrum of human experience. From the safety of elevators and the efficiency of helicopters to the comforts of home and the precision of mechanical calculation. Yet among these tales of ingenuity, there is one story that resonates with both struggle and triumph, illustrating how resilience and creativity can flourish even under the harshest conditions. The story of John Burr, a man born into slavery whose mind and determination would ultimately transform agriculture and inspire generations of young inventors. John Burr's life began under circumstances that would have crushed the dreams of many, born into a world that denied him freedom, opportunity, and recognition. Despite these obstacles, he displayed an early aptitude for mechanics, curiosity, and a willingness to learn from the tools and machines around him. During his teenage years, he worked in the fields, servicing farm machinery and observing how the interplay of gears, blades, and levers could be improved to make labor more efficient. The daily challenges of agricultural work exposed him to the limitations of existing tools, and in these observations, Burr saw opportunity not only to solve practical problems but to elevate the standards of technology and to leave a mark on the world. With the support of wealthy African-American activists who recognized his potential, Burr was able to pursue formal engineering studies at a private institution, a rare opportunity for someone of his background at the time. This education provided him with the theoretical knowledge to complement his hands-on experience, allowing him to refine his understanding of mechanics and innovation. Later, he moved to Chicago and became an apprentice in steelwork, immersing himself in a community of skilled craftsmen and engineers where he could apply, test, and expand his ideas. It was this combination of practical experience, formal education, and exposure to a community of technical expertise that set the stage for one of his most significant contributions, the invention of the rotary blade mower. In 1898, John Burr submitted a patent for his rotary blade mower, a machine that would revolutionize the way grass and crops were cut, increasing efficiency, reducing labor, and improving outcomes for farmers across the country. Unlike traditional mowing methods, which relied heavily on manual effort or cumbersome machinery, Burr's rotary mower incorporated a rotating blade system that allowed for faster, cleaner, and more precise cutting. This invention was not only a technical achievement but also a deeply human one, reflecting Burr's understanding of labor, effort, and the desire to create tools that improve daily life. Much like Alexander Miles' elevator doors enhanced public safety, or John Stannard's refrigerator innovations improved domestic life, Burrs-Maurer addressed a specific, tangible need, transforming the experience of work for countless individuals and communities. Yet Burrs' impact extended far beyond the invention itself. He understood that true innovation is not simply about personal achievement, but about nurturing the minds of others, sharing knowledge, and creating a legacy that transcends a single patent. Throughout his life, he delighted in lecturing, tutoring, and mentoring young inventors, passing on the skills, principles, and mindset necessary to approach problems with curiosity, creativity, and precision. In doing, Burr became more than inventor. He became a guide, a source of inspiration, and a symbol of what could be accomplished when determination meets opportunity, even in the face of systemic adversity. His mentorship ensured that the spirit of innovation he embodied would ripple outward, influencing new generations who might also seek to transform the world through thoughtful, practical invention. The story of John Burr is particularly compelling because it connects seamlessly with the broader narrative of African American inventors who transformed both everyday life and the possibilities of human experience. From Miles' elevator safety mechanisms to Williams' breakthroughs in helicopter design, from Stannard's improvements to domestic refrigeration to Burridge and Martian's innovations in office technology, Burr's work exemplifies the common thread of observation, insight, and the courage to act on ideas that others may have overlooked. Each of these inventors identified moments of friction or limitation in the world around them and applied their creativity to solve real problems, leaving legacies that continue to impact our lives today. Burrs-Maurer also underscores the importance of practical invention in shaping society. While grand technological achievements often dominate historical narratives, the everyday tools that improve work, efficiency, and productivity quietly transform the lives of countless individuals. Burr's invention allowed farmers to work faster and with less strain, increasing productivity and freeing time for other pursuits. It is a reminder that innovation is not solely measured by visibility or prestige, but by its ability to enhance human life, to solve problems, and to create a foundation for further discovery and improvement. In mentoring others, Burr ensured that the knowledge and insights he cultivated would not be lost, but would continue to influence inventors who followed, creating a chain of inspiration and empowerment that stretches far beyond his own lifetime. Recognizing John Burr alongside inventors like Alexander Miles, Paul E. Williams, John Stannard, and Burridge and Martian reveals a broader truth about the history of innovation. It is a tapestry woven from diverse experiences, perspectives, and challenges, and it often flourishes in places and under circumstances where it is least expected. Burr's story teaches us that ingenuity knows no bounds, that creativity can emerge from observation, necessity, and determination, and that mentorship and the sharing of knowledge are as important as the invention itself. His life is a testament to resilience, vision, and the transformative power of practical innovation, reminding us that every tool we use, every improvement to daily life, is part of a legacy built by those who dared to imagine a better way. If you are inspired by the remarkable journey of John Burr, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel. We bring you the untold stories of hidden innovators whose creativity and perseverance shaped the world, whose contributions remain essential yet often overlooked, and whose legacies continue to inspire future generations to explore, invent, and transform their own communities through curiosity, skill, and determination. By following along, You become part of a story that celebrates human ingenuity across generations and uncovers the brilliance that has long been hidden from the pages of mainstream history. As the narrative of African American innovation unfolds, moving from the transformative elevators of Alexander Miles, the pioneering helicopters of Paul E. Williams, the practical refrigerators of John Stannard, the ingenious adding machines and typewriters of Lee Burridge and Newman Martian, and the rotary mower of John Burr, we begin to see a tapestry of invention that spans every corner of human life, illustrating how creativity and observation can reshape both the ordinary and the extraordinary. Into this rich history steps Charles Brooks, an inventor whose vision extended not to the skies or the domestic sphere, but to the very streets upon which communities lived, worked, and moved, bringing cleanliness, safety, and efficiency to public spaces that countless people relied upon every day without even thinking about it. In the late 19th century, urban streets were often cluttered, dirty, and hazardous. Pedestrians navigated uneven surfaces littered with debris, while the limited mechanization of street cleaning meant that cities struggled to maintain public health and safety. Brooks, observing these conditions with a keen eye for practical improvement, recognized an opportunity to transform not only the machinery used to clean streets but also the experience of urban life itself, drawing on his understanding of mechanics. He conceived a street sweeper that would incorporate self-propelled brushes, designed to rotate and reach areas previously inaccessible, and a sophisticated dirt collection system that could gather swept debris and transport it efficiently to a containment area. This innovation did more than save labor. It fundamentally redefined the standard for public sanitation, combining engineering precision with empathy for the needs of the communities who would benefit from cleaner, safer streets. The brilliance of Brooks' invention lies in its holistic approach. The self-propelled brushes allowed the sweeper to operate with greater autonomy, reducing reliance on manual labor and enabling consistent performance over larger areas, while the dirt collection system ensured that debris was handled efficiently, minimizing the mess left behind. By varying the length of the brushes and adding a scraper for ice and snow, Brooks accounted for seasonal and environmental challenges, demonstrating a foresight and attention to detail that mirrored the innovation shown by John Stannard in his refrigerator designs and the practical insight that guided John Burr's rotary mower. Brooks' sweeper was not merely a machine. It was a thoughtfully designed system that considered the interaction between technology, environment, and human activity, recognizing that true innovation improves both process and experience. The impact of Brooks' work extended far beyond mechanical ingenuity. Safer and cleaner streets reduced accidents, improved public health, and enhanced the quality of daily life for residents of urban centers. His invention showed that technological improvements need not be flashy or high-profile to be profoundly transformative. Sometimes the most enduring contributions are those that quietly improve the routines and safety of everyday life. Much like Alexander Miles' elevator doors ensured public safety, Paul Williams' helicopter made flight more practical. Brooks' street sweeper demonstrated that observant, thoughtful engineering could reshape the environment in ways that benefit countless individuals simultaneously, creating a ripple effect of positive change that extended across cities and communities. Brooks' work also reflects a broader theme in the stories of African American inventors: the intersection of creativity, practicality, and resilience in the face of systemic barriers. Operating in an era when recognition, funding, and professional support were often withheld from inventors of color, Brooks relied on ingenuity, perseverance, and the practical value of his designs to gain traction. The support of financial backers and the eventual recognition by city maintenance officials allowed his invention to move from concept to implementation, demonstrating that the combination of skill, vision, and strategic collaboration is often essential for translating innovation into real-world impact. In this sense, Brooks' journey parallels the paths of innovators like John Burr, who also combined personal skill with mentorship and community support. Williams, who leveraged both talent and professional networks to achieve groundbreaking results. Furthermore, Brooks' Street Sweeper highlights how technological solutions can bridge the gap between human effort and environmental demands. By mechanizing labor-intensive tasks while accounting for efficiency, safety, and adaptability, he created a tool that extended human capability, allowing cities to maintain cleanliness and safety in ways that would have been difficult, if not impossible, through manual methods alone. The foresight to integrate multiple features into a single, cohesive system, self-propelled brushes, adjustable lengths, ice and snow scrapers, and dirt collection exemplifies a holistic approach to invention, one that considers both immediate functionality and long-term usability. This principle echoes through the stories of inventors we have explored, from the elevators of Miles to the refrigerators of Stannard, and the adding machines of Burridge and Martian, emphasizing that true innovation often arises when technical expertise meets careful observation of human needs. The legacy of Charles B. Brooks is not limited to the machines themselves, but encompasses the broader influence his designs had on urban management, public health, and the very way communities interacted with their environment. Cleaner streets improved not only physical safety but also social experience, contributing to a sense of order, care, and civic responsibility. Brooks' invention reminds us that innovation can be transformative even when it operates quietly in the background, shaping lives, routines, and environments in subtle yet powerful ways, much as the elevator doors, helicopters, refrigerators, and typewriters shaped the lives of people in their respective contexts. Recognizing Brooks alongside other African-American inventors reinforces the broader pattern of ingenuity, resilience, and practical insight that threads through these narratives. Each innovator observed the limitations of their surroundings, envisioned a solution, and executed it with precision, leaving a lasting impact on society. Brooks' story, in particular, illustrates how inventions that improve public spaces, sanitation, and safety are as vital as those that change homes, offices, or others, reminding us that the scope of human creativity is vast and interconnected. If you are inspired by the ingenuity and foresight of Charles B. Brooks, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel. We bring you untold stories of innovators whose inventions quietly but profoundly shaped the world, improving lives, enhancing communities, and inspiring future generations to observe, imagine, and act. By following along, you participate in uncovering a history that celebrates the brilliance, creativity, and perseverance of minds too often overlooked, revealing the transformative power of invention across every aspect of human life. As the stories of Alexander Miles, Paul E. Williams, John Stannard, Lee Berridge, Newman Martian, John Burr, and Charles Brooks demonstrate, the history of African-American inventors is woven through the fabric of human experience, encompassing innovations that make our homes safer, our work more efficient, our streets cleaner, and our skies more accessible. Yet beyond the convenience of everyday life and the practicality of domestic or urban improvements, there is a sphere where ingenuity can mean the difference between survival and catastrophe, the realm of fire safety. Into this critical field stepped T.J. Marshall, a visionary whose work on the fire sprinkler system would fundamentally transform the way buildings protect their occupants, preserve property, and respond to one of the most unpredictable and dangerous elements of human life. In the 19th century, urbanization and industrialization brought people and property into increasingly dense environments, heightening the risk of catastrophic fires. Factories, office buildings, and apartment complexes were particularly vulnerable, and conventional firefighting methods were often reactive, insufficient, and slow to contain rapidly spreading flames. Recognizing the limitations of these approaches, Marshall applied his mechanical expertise and inventive insight to a proactive solution, a system capable of detecting fire early and delivering water precisely where it was needed, before it could escalate into a full-blown disaster. This approach required not only technical skill, but also a deep understanding of the physics of fire, the behavior of water under pressure, and the ways buildings could be adapted to integrate safety systems seamlessly into their structure. Marshall's development of the fire sprinkler system was revolutionary. By designing a network of pipes that delivered water to individual sprinkler heads positioned strategically throughout a building, he created a method for containing fires with remarkable precision. Each sprinkler head could be activated individually, responding to the heat of a fire, rather than flooding an entire area indiscriminately. This innovation minimized water damage while maximizing effectiveness, ensuring that property could be preserved even as dangerous flames were extinguished. Marshall's foresight extended to a variety of building types, from factories with flammable materials to commercial spaces and residential complexes, demonstrating an awareness of the diverse contexts in which his invention would be applied and the real-world stakes involved in safeguarding human lives. The impact of Marshall's sprinkler system cannot be overstated. By introducing a proactive, automated method for fire suppression, he fundamentally changed the standards for building safety. Factories and large-scale structures became far less prone to catastrophic loss, and the lives of countless workers and residents were saved as fires could now be contained quickly and efficiently. Much like Alexander Miles' elevator doors prevented accidents, Paul E. Williams' helicopters expanded the reach of human mobility. John Stannard's refrigerators improved domestic well-being. Burridge and Martian's adding machines enhanced office efficiency. John Burr's rotary mower reduced labor while empowering young inventors. And Charles Brooks' street sweepers created safer urban environments. Marshall's innovation exemplified the transformative power of observation, technical skill, and the application of ingenuity to pressing human challenges. Marshall's work also highlights the broader significance of African American inventors operating in times when recognition and resources were often denied to them. Developing a complex, reliable, and widely adoptable fire suppression system required not only inventive talent but also perseverance, resourcefulness, and a vision for how technology could be integrated into society for the greater good. By overcoming these barriers, Marshall not only secured his place in history, but also set a precedent for how innovation could intersect with public safety and civic responsibility, illustrating that the contributions of African American inventors extend beyond individual achievement to encompass societal advancement. The principles behind Marshall's sprinkler system resonate with the innovations of the other inventors we have explored. Each observed a problem or hazard, envisioned a solution that accounted for human interaction and practical needs, and applied technical skill to create a lasting improvement. Whereas Brooks' street sweeper enhanced public safety and hygiene in urban spaces, and John Burr's mower reduced labor in agriculture, Marshall addressed the existential threat posed by uncontrolled fire. Combining mechanics, physics, and foresight to prevent tragedy before it could occur, his system's adoption across the United States and eventually around the world underscores the profound and enduring influence of his invention. shaping building codes, safety regulations, and architectural design in ways that continue to protect lives today. Marshall's legacy also extends to the culture of innovation itself, exemplifying the principle that invention is most powerful when it anticipates needs, safeguards human well-being, and integrates seamlessly into the environments it is meant to protect. The proactive philosophy behind his sprinkler system mirrors the attention to user experience and practical problem-solving demonstrated by inventors like Miles, Williams, Stannard, Burridge, Martian, Burr, and Brooks, revealing a consistent theme. True innovation arises when observation meets empathy, and technical expertise is wielded with a focus on improving lives. By examining Marshall alongside these other pioneering figures, we gain a fuller appreciation for the breadth and depth of African-American contributions to technology, society, and everyday life. Each invention, whether it enhances safety, efficiency, convenience, or accessibility, reflects a combination of skill, vision, and perseverance that continues to shape our world. Marshall's fire sprinkler system is a vivid reminder that the stakes of invention are not always abstract. Sometimes, they are measured in lives saved, property preserved, and the peace of mind afforded to those who occupy the spaces around us. If you are inspired by the remarkable story of T.J. Marshall, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel. We bring you the untold stories of innovators whose contributions have profoundly shaped the world, whose foresight and creativity continue to impact daily life, and whose legacies remind us that the power of invention is measured not just by recognition, but by the enduring ways it protects, empowers, and transforms human experience. By following our channel, you join a journey that uncovers brilliance too long overlooked, revealing the transformative impact of ingenuity across every facet of life, from the home to the streets, from the office to the skies above, and now, to the very buildings that shelter and sustain us. As we reach the culmination of this journey through the remarkable achievements of African-American inventors, it becomes clear that the story we have explored is far more than a list of patents or technical milestones. It is a testament to resilience, vision, and the transformative power of human ingenuity. From Alexander Miles' pioneering elevator doors that safeguarded everyday passengers, to Paul Williams' breakthrough in helicopter design, John Stannard's clever improvements to the refrigerator, Lee Burridge and Newman Martian's enhancements to typewriters and adding machines, John Burr's revolutionary rotary blade mower, Charles B. Brooks' self-propelled street sweepers, and T.J. Marshall's fire sprinkler system that made buildings safer worldwide. Each story reflects the same fundamental principle: observation, creativity, and determination can overcome obstacles and leave a legacy that touches countless lives. Yet, as we turn to the lives and work of Charles Drew and Valerie Thomas, we witness how innovation can reach not only practical and mechanical improvements, but also entirely new frontiers in medicine, science, and technology. Charles Drew's contributions to blood plasma preservation during World War II stand as a landmark in both scientific and humanitarian achievement. In an era when medical science was still grappling with the challenges of safely storing and transporting blood, Drew's research offered solutions that would save countless lives on the battlefield and in hospitals around the world. While studying at Columbia University, Drew dedicated himself to understanding how blood could be collected, preserved, and transported without compromising its efficacy. His pioneering techniques in blood banking, which included innovations in separating plasma and maintaining its viability during shipment, revolutionized medical practice. These methods were crucial during World War II, When timely and safe blood transfusions became a matter of life and death for soldiers and civilians alike, Drew's meticulous work not only advanced the scientific field of hematology, but also established protocols and standards that continue to underpin blood banking today, reflecting the enduring impact of a single visionary mind on global health. Valerie Thomas, on the other hand, expanded the boundaries of perception and communication through her work in 3D imaging technology. Joining NASA in 1964, Thomas played a pivotal role in projects such as the creation of Landsat, the first satellite to relay photographs from space, and she led the development of NASA's image processing systems. Her investigation into the illusion transmitter, patented in 1980, allowed for the creation of images that appeared three-dimensional, a concept that found applications not only in space technology but also in medical imaging and television systems. Thomas' work illustrates how innovation can be simultaneously technical, imaginative, and far-reaching, transforming the ways humans perceive, analyze, and interact with information. Through her inventions, she not only advanced technology but also inspired future generations to explore how creativity and technical skill can converge to produce solutions that redefine human experience. What ties Drew and Thomas to the broader narrative of the inventors we have explored is their shared commitment to addressing human needs through ingenuity. Where Brooks improved public spaces, Burr transformed agricultural labor, and Marshall made fire safety reliable, Drew and Thomas extended the benefits of innovation into the domains of health, science, and technology, demonstrating that creative solutions can save lives, enhance understanding, and open entirely new realms of possibility. Their work also reflects a profound dedication to the betterment of society. As Drew's blood banking methods alleviated human suffering, and Thomas' 3D imaging created new ways for people to learn, explore, and interact with the world, both remind us that innovation is not only about convenience or efficiency. It is also about expanding human potential, addressing fundamental challenges, and leaving a legacy that endures across time and space. As we reflect on these stories collectively, a broader lesson emerges. Innovation is both a deeply personal journey and a communal gift. Each of these inventors observed a problem, imagined a solution, and applied skill, determination, and creativity to bring that solution to life. Their lives remind us that the path to invention is rarely linear, often fraught with societal barriers, limited resources, and skepticism. Yet, through perseverance, collaboration, and an unwavering commitment to improving the lives of others, they produced innovations that continue to shape our daily experiences, our cities, our workplaces, our skies, our homes, our health, and our perception of the world itself. From the simple safety of an elevator to the life-saving power of stored blood, these innovations collectively illustrate the transformative potential of human creativity when combined with courage and vision. The stories of Charles Drew and Valerie Thomas also reinforce the importance of representation and recognition in the history of innovation. For too long, the contributions of African American inventors were overlooked, minimized, or excluded from mainstream narratives. By highlighting their achievements alongside those of their contemporaries, we not only honor their legacies, but also create a more complete and inspiring picture of how progress is made. Their lives teach us that innovation transcends background, circumstance, or societal limitations, and that the pursuit of knowledge, creativity, and improvement can leave an impact far greater than any one individual might imagine. As we conclude this journey, it is worth noting that the legacy of these inventors is not confined to the past. The tools, systems, and technologies they developed continue to influence our lives every day. From the elevators we ride to the streets we walk, from the offices we work in to the helicopters and airplanes that connect us, from the refrigerators that preserve our food to the life-saving medical techniques and 3D imaging technologies that advance science and medicine. Each invention tells a story of curiosity, resilience, and the profound impact that one determined mind can have on the world. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of African American innovation, and for taking the time to honor these remarkable inventors whose contributions have shaped the world in ways both obvious and subtle. If you have been inspired by their creativity, perseverance, and impact, please make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel, where we continue to bring you the untold stories of inventors whose brilliance has often been overlooked, but whose legacies continue to resonate, influence, and inspire. By following along, you become part of a journey that celebrates ingenuity, encourages curiosity, and ensures that the contributions of visionary minds like Charles Drew, Valerie Thomas, and so many others are remembered, appreciated, and shared with the world.